Hello. Hello. ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে।
Hello, 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 hello. A very good morning to all respective delegates, invitees, organizer, faculties, and all other participants in this platform of International Conference on Health, Safety and Environment, HSE 2023. Welcome to this prestigious international conference on health, safety and environment, HSE 2023, in the venue of Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, organized by Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Organization, and it is sponsored by Science and Engineering Research Board, New Delhi, and Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. We believe that there is a continuous development for the betterment of human society in the area of health, safety, and environment. So now we would like to welcome our delegates. So first and foremost, we would like to request Shri Dilip Kumar Bera, President, Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Organization, to take his distinguished chair. Now I would request Mrs. Tanushri Jana, Principal, Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, to take her distinguished chair. I would also request Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSE Guide, Accredited HAZOP Leader, ex-ICI Kolkata, to take his distinguished chair. I would request Professor R.N. Jana, Patron HSE 2023, Associate Professor of Department of Chemical Engineering, Haldia Institute of Technology, to take his distinguished chair. I would request Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra, Assistant Professor of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, to take his distinguished chair. I would request Dr. Shunirmal Jana, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur, to take his distinguished chair. I would request Dr. Shanot Kormukar, Professor, Department of Physics, Jadavpur University, to take his distinguished chair. Now I would request Sri Sanjeev Kumar Jana, DGM EHS, IVL Dhanseri Petrochem Industries Private Limited, Haldia, to take his distinguished chair. I would request Sri Pranab Kirtan, Senior Safety Manager, Reliance Industries Limited, to take his distinguished chair. I would also request Dr. Shubroto Jana, Convener of HSE-2023 and Professor of Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, to take his distinguished chair. We would also like to welcome Dr. Ajay Gupta, Advanced AG Hospital, Bhatinda, Punjab, who has joined us online. And also would like to welcome Professor Prabhat Kumar Mandal, Professor and Head, Department of Livestock Product Technology, Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Veterinary Education and Research, Pondicherry, who has joined us online. Welcome to all the dignitaries who has joined in this occasion. We believe that there is a continuous development for the betterment of human society in the area of health, safety, and environment. The development in health area may include the purification of water, air and soil, gas sorption, storage and sensing, bio-nanomaterial and tissue engineering, biosensor, diagnostic and imaging, material for drug and gene delivery. In safety area, there may be the efficient fire control, development of durable and safe personal protective equipment, PPE, proper process safety management, PSM. The other application may be clean and sustainable technology, energy storage, renewable energy technology, green chemistry. So, the International Conference on Health, Safety and Environment, HSE-2023, will provide a platform to the engineer, stakeholders, promoter, contractor, and all other professionals to interact, learn, and exposure to the various fields of HSE. We hope that the event will encourage the delegate to think about the new material, method, or technology for health, safety, and environment. This conference is initiated to meet a need to pursue collective goal of scientific community, specifically focusing in the field of health, safety, and environment, to endorse exchanging of the ideas and knowledge which will facilitate the collaboration between scientist, academician, and researcher of same field or interdisciplinary research. So moving towards the inaugural session, first and foremost, we would like to welcome our delegate with flower bouquet and memento. For this, I would like to call upon Mr. Shubroto Khara and Mr. Rajdeep Jana. Firstly, I would like to welcome Shri Dilip Kumar Bera, President of Haldia Brajalachak Welfare Organization, with a flower bouquet and a memento. Now we would like to welcome Mrs. Tonushri Jana, Principal, Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We'd also like to welcome Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSE Guide, Accredited HAZOP Leader, ex-ICI Kolkata, with flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to felicitate Professor R.N. Jana, Patron of HSE-2023 and Associate Professor of Department of Chemical Engineering, Haldia Institute of Technology, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to welcome Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra, Assistant Professor of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also welcome Dr. Shunirmal Jana, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR, Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would like to felicitate Shri Shonjit Kumar Jana, DGM EHS, IVL Dhanseri Petrochem Industries Private Limited, Haldia, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to welcome Dr. Shanut Kormokar, Professor, Department of Physics, Jadavpur University, with a flower bouquet and a memento. Now we would like to welcome Shri Pranab Kirtan, Senior Safety Manager, Reliance Industries Limited, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to welcome Dr. Shubroto Jana, Convener HSE 2023 and Professor of Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to welcome some of our delegates with memento. Mihir Das, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety. We'd also like to welcome our delegate, Ms. Shuniti Giri, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety, with a flower bouquet and a memento. Next, we would like to welcome One of our delegate, Moitri Dash, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety, with flower bouquet and memento. We would like to welcome Usha Dhara, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, with flower bouquet and memento. We would also like to welcome Mr. Torun Hajra, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety, with flower bouquet and memento. Light is a symbol of brightness and prosperity. To make this evening a blessed one, we would like to evoke Goddess Saraswati by kindling the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. For seeking the choicest blessing, I would like to invite our chief guest, Sri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSE Guide, accredited HAZOP leader, ex-ICI Kolkata, to light up the diya, and I would also request all other dignitaries to join him for the same. Heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries for marking the inauguration of our today's conference, International Conference on Health, Safety and Environment, HSE 2023, organized by Haldia Brajalachak Welfare Organization. sponsored by Science and Engineering Research Board, New Delhi, India, and Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. সরিয়ে দে, সরিয়ে দে, সরিয়ে দে। Now it's time to listen to a few words from our respective delegates. I would like to request Shri Dilip Kumar Bera, President, Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Organization, to deliver welcome address on this international conference on health and safety environment, HSE 2023.
Good morning, everyone. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this event. Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Organization has been organizing such conferences for the last few years, and we have become successful due to your support, your cooperation. So, I heartily welcome all of you, all the faculty members, the delegates, the dignitaries, the students of fire and safety engineering, and all the persons who have helped us to organize such conference in different ways. We know that if we do not keep our environment clean and pollution free, our own existence will be endangered. Gandhiji once said, "Earth provides enough for everyone's need, but not everyone's greed." If we pollute our environment, there will be a question before the existence of mankind. So, we see that health, safety, and environment, all these are correlated, and we all of us should be aware of it. I once again welcome sincerely, warmly, from the very core of my heart, on behalf of Haldia Brajalalchak Social Welfare Organization. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Professor R.N. Jana, patron of HSE 2023 and Associate Professor of Department of Chemical Engineering, Haldia Institute of Technology, to deliver his inaugural speech in HSE 2023.
Good morning, everybody. Presently, we have our distinguished chief guest, Sri Shamal Ranjan Maiti, other invited speakers, and the audience, our student, and invited other speakers and distinguished members. Welcome to this International Conference of Health, Safety and Environment 2023. As we know, our environment is very important. As our President has already told, that our existence is limited to the presence of that environment. If it is clean enough, then we can sustain for a longer time, and if it is not so, then as we have seen, maybe due to some what are the effects, or maybe we have heard about corona last 2-3 years back. So that is also due to the hazards, environmental hazards, due to the different pollutions. The control of the bioorganisms was not maintained, and this is, I think, it was man-made. All the pollution, whatever is coming, mostly it may be from a natural source, but there is a huge contribution from the human activities. So whatever the nowadays, due to the advent of different technologies, due to the requirement of our needs, to fulfill that, we have to set up different industries, but definitely inherently we have to invite different pollutions, that is waste generated different industries, and we have to handle, we have to manage that pollution properly. Otherwise, in near future we have also similar type of hazards or disasters, we can say, similar to that corona. Just for example, but several events have already been, we have experienced. We know that in 1984 that company, okay, so there is a very huge disasters, and so many of that people who are died, and every year we have come across this type of events. Okay, Bhopal gas disasters, as you know, that is associated with methyl isocyanate, a chemical released from our industries. And every day, or I mean, we have come across different news, maybe in newspaper or TV channels, there is a fire incidents in the high-rise building or even different companies. Mostly the flammable, the liquids or the gases, the people who are handling, they are prone to that incidents, fire incidents. So to set up this Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, with the objectives that we have to train the people in correct way, in the proper training is required. In that incident, they can cope up with their activities, they are skilled, so that within a very short time they can extinguish the fire, or they can control the accident or the hazards. So we have started this organization in 2016 with the formation of the society. As you know, this is the legal requirement for the establishment of different industries, to set up a trust or society. In order to do that, we have formed the society, and very inception of the society, we have involved with this type of activities. We know that we have in nearby the Haldia, and Haldia is having so many of chemical industries. It is a chemical hub, and the inhabitant, the population nearby the Haldia, they may be affected. As we know, day by day there are new industries are coming up within that very short area, so the congestion is quite increasing, and if there is some incident, any plant, that may affect to the other plants also. So in Haldia, due to the advantage of this port area, there is there is chance of the establishing of new and more different companies, but the area is limited. As you know, the Haldia is covered by or surrounded by the three sides by the river. One is the Hooghly River, Rumnaran, and there is the Haldi River. So expansion is very limited, but the population is quite increasing day by day. In order to survive them, in order to give them job opportunities, so we have to set up industries. But within this very short area, so many of industries are being coming up, and due to the congested area, as I mentioned, say one industry may affect to the other industries. That is called actually domino effect. So that effect may be there in near future. So we are controlling that. We are aware of that, and due to the latest technology we are having, we have that type of management, disasters management team we have with the district magistrate level. There is a different type of drill, mock drill. We do that. So in that way, the people, community people, they are being aware, they are being trained, and they have to take immediate action when that adverse situation may arise. Okay. So the aim of this conference is to aware the people where we are now standing, and to take a lesson that in future, if the some adverse situation is coming, so how to tackle that. So with these few words, I would like to conclude. Thank you once again, the delegates who have come here, traveling after a very long distance, and I think we have tried our best to give them support, hospitality, whatever it is. If there is any difficulties they are facing, sorry for that. Whatever we have tried with our best, that is I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra, Assistant Professor of Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, to say some few words.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thanks to the conference committee to invite me to give a talk in this conference. And there are so many delegates, so they will give a talk related to that environment, safety, and health benefit. And a couple of chief guests already mentioned the importance of this conference. And I hope you will enjoy this conference, and this conference will be very successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Dr. Shunirmal Jana, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR, Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur, to say some few words.
Very good morning to all of you. At first, dignitaries on the dais, Sri Samal Ranjan Maiti, who is the chief guest of these great occasions, International Conference on Safety, Health and Environment, Sri Dilip Kumar Bera, President, Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Association, Professor R.N. Jana, Professor HIT, Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra, IIT Madras, Dr. Sanat Karmakar, Professor, Jadavpur University, Sri Sanjeev Kumar Jana, Dr. Subroto Jana, Srimati Tanushree Jana, and all the dignitaries of the dais, delegates, invited speakers, students and beloved students. This conference is very much important in the present time, in the present scenario, because of, as per the ILO, International Labour Organization, there is the need of C, safety, health and environment. The three words are there, and this C framed the provisions of the employees, not only in the government sector, but also in private and also in the domestic sector, how to protect them from the various odd activities or environment pollution, health related issues. They frame the rules, and accordingly different states, different countries have their own type of rules and regulations, as our India also, Ministry of Labor and Environment framed our own rules on these occasions. We have faced various pandemic and epidemics, starting from Ebola, cholera, yellow fever, H1N1, COVID-19, and so on and so forth. To protect from this pandemic and epidemic, to save us, to save our fellow citizens, we have to do work, we have to do research in that manner, so that we can protect ourselves, we can save our life. And in this occasion, this type of international conference is very much required to share the knowledge base, to share our research outputs, so that together or with the sharing of all the knowledge base, we can come into a result to protect ourselves. So in this context, this seminar is very much fruitful and timely. With this brief, I hope this 2 days deliberation with the association of different academicians, students, researchers, and also other delegates mixed together and come into a conclusion and go back to home to do for our country and to do for the globe as a whole. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words. Now I would request Dr. Shanut Kormokar, Professor, Department of Physics, Jadavpur University, to say a few words.
Very good morning to all of you. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to come here and give your talk on the topic of this conference, that health, safety and the environment. And I would also like to thank and also our respected delegates, my dear students and colleagues and all other dignitaries in the dais and outside also the dais. Okay. So this is an international conference, and we know that health, safety and environment, these three words are not independent words. They are all linked. Okay. So unless we have the safety environment, the health issues will not go out. Okay. So we have several health issues coming. Nowadays you have many kind of infectious disease, and that is because of the health, because of the environmental pollution. So to mitigate environmental pollution, to mitigate health issues, everything, so we need to do some kind of research in that area. And therefore the conference that we have here, and we are all eager to listen, very beautiful and important different aspect of the safety, health and environment of our society, of our country. So I'm not going to give you some elaboration of this kind of the safety environment and all. So you will get to know as the conference goes on. So now I just wanted to thank all of you, and I hope you all will enjoy the talks, and you, at the end of the day you will enrich the knowledge, and we should all take a place that we should save our environment for our betterment of life, society and also country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would request Shri Shonjeev Kumar Jana, DGM EHS, IVL Dhanseri Petrochem Industries Private Limited, Haldia, to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. First, I thanks to the committee members and all. The subject is workplace safety, health, and environment. Why this conference is so important? Today's context or present scenario. Dr. Jana has told the Bhopal gas disaster has happened in 1984. Then earlier we have Factory Act and rules are there 1948. But after the Bhopal gas disaster, the focusing on safety, health, and environment, right? But up to 2000, it is the safety, health, and environment. It is going a natural process or a generalized way, and there the legal requirements is there, so they maintain all the industries, and there is a problem. They are focusing mainly focusing on the legal requirements. But after that, and now you have heard the word ESG, environment, social, and governance. Why it is so important and what is relevant to the HSE? Because HSE earlier we are focusing on their Factory Act and rules and Environment Act rules. That's why they are maintaining that. But nowadays, when it is come the ESG, it is directly dependent on the companies direct. It is interact with the finance. When we are giving the ESG report to the global, all the statistics are given there, and it is evaluated with financial rate. That's why now all the company occupier or manager, actually all the plants, they are focusing on the production. First, they given the importance of production. They headlines are given safety first, that way. But actually, what happened in the industry, in my working experience, in the 24 years experience, 10% of the good industry means those are system-oriented plant and the system-oriented plant and the multinational group. They maintaining a good, but average 90% of the industry, they just focusing on the legal part. But when now it is comes in the ESG, environment, social, and governance, and directly linked up with that, any accident, if any fatal accident or any reportable accident happened, then when we give in our product to others industry, they for multinational company, they not take that. You have a fatal accident, you have a reportable accident, they are not taken. So the business is affected for safety, health, and environment. Thus, so important is that. Just one example I have given. Earlier plant I have joined in, within 3 days, one fatal accident happened. The cost of direct cost and indirect cost, I have told one fatal accident, that is around 65 lakhs of. I told my occupier, please give me that rupees, I will give the system allied for the safety, health, and environment. And present industry, there also one fatal accident happened. To managing that accident, around 45 lakhs is. And in present scenario, the ESG come, the business linked up with the safety, health, environment. So it is very vital, very important for the occupier or plant manager to maintain proper safety, health and environment system. So nowadays, 80% of the industries, they are focusing to maintain the safety, health and environment system. If not, so 80% of the industry nowadays, they try to maintain the. And I told here from this safety, this college, the safety officers, fire officers, you are going away. But what is your duty or aim? Just not for a safety officer. Many industry I have seen that they are going and they are like just a safety officer. But how you should maintain a good safety, health and environment system for the plant? That is your duty or that is your main motto of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I would request Shri Pranab Kirtan, Senior Safety Manager, Reliance Industries Limited, to say a few words.
Thank you all. Delegating my speech to respected dignitaries as well as audience like students. So thanks to this organization, Haldia Brajalachak Welfare Organization and Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering for arranging such a nice international conference on health and safety environment. And now the theme is workplace with better HSE. So this topic is very relevant to us as a safety profession. I am in industry since last 16 years. I have worked in multinational organization also like L&T, Lasalle and Tubula, now working Reliance. These are big company, they are maintaining the big safety culture. So this is nowadays safety, health and environment, it has a core value. This is not a priority, it has a core value. We should maintain this, otherwise we have no option. Now this comes in our blood also, not only in our profession, we should think anything with safety. This is our priority, not only priority, this is our core value. Now giving one example, many industries also, they are going towards up their business, only maintaining safety, like Tata Motors. Tata Motors nowadays, we can say, last 2-3 years, they have launched lot of cars with maximum, we can say, upgraded safety features, like Tata Tiago and Nexon, like the many cars they have launched, only they are getting the good business, only for the safety features. 4 to 5 times they are selling also already increased. So this is one of the example. Already our sir was told now, if any incident happen, suppose for one fatal accident, he is told 65 lakh rupees already spent. So for better HSE, we no need to spend so much money. Only we need to create a safety culture. So how we will create? We need to change behavior. Because as per Henrich analysis, Henrich is one of the employee of insurance company, and he has analyzed the data for accident analysis, and he has concluded no any major accident happen in a single day. Lot of mistakes happen. Now it will be concluded a fatal accident. So we need to focus on in a below level. This is unsafe act or unsafe condition. Because any accident happen in industry or anywhere due to unsafe act or unsafe condition. So we need to focus on this. We need to change people's thinking, people's thought by changing behavior. So how will change behavior? This is also lot of tools is there. So counseling, training, one-to-one interaction, and ultimately we need to change people's thought. So we can achieve the HSE culture, or we can minimize in the incident, accident, and we can maintain a better HSE culture. This is not a one-day job. This is a continuous process, continuous improvement process. We need to take some time, but ultimately after 2-3 years or 5 years, we can achieve a big goal. We can say proudly, our industry, our organization is free from any accident, free from danger. This is our main motto. So that's all. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We are very fortunate to receive our chief guest, Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSC Guide, Accredited HAZOP Leader, ex-ICI, Kolkata. Words are not enough to say about him. Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, a chemical engineering holder of 1973 from REC, now NIT Rourkela, with specialization in industrial organization and works management. He has worked in many organizations, especially Imperial Chemical Industries ICI for 25 years, where he received major exposure in HSE management field, especially HAZOP study leadership. He was awarded several international recognition and became in charge of SSHE department. After retirement in 2008, he became attached to different organizations as an HSE guide, advisor, auditor, trainer, team builder till date. He is a veteran member of National Safety Council. So we would like to hear from him. So I would like to request Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti to say few words.
Good morning, friends. First of all, I am feeling myself honored by IFSC organizers to be the chief guest. There are so many learned persons are here. So basic thing I want to say, safety, health and environment awareness. You see, whenever you are child, your parents, when you are going out, they would say, beta sabdhani se jana. Sabdhane jabi baba, take care outside. But when you go outside, we forget. And when some accident happens, naseeb, or otherwise disum, he is faulty. We blame the, say, road safety management, government, and start chaos like that. So that awareness is not yet developed because it is not in the school curriculum. Environment awareness little bit has come, but still we see that when the lowland this being developed as township, okay? So that awareness is not yet created. Regarding the health awareness, still we take casually. We don't wash, we don't use mask wherever necessary, or on the road, or say in the first aid. We saw here one poster, there it is told that it is to be crawled. No, water to be poured. If some accident happens at home, and you must be aware of the food. We say food habit, ahar, bihar, vichar, vyavahar, food habit, then lifestyle, you do some exercise, okay, and then judgment, what suits you, that you should take. You should not be greedy, okay, and last is behavioral. We should change our attitude towards the safety goal. This is the basic message. Secondly, whatever we are going to do, first of all think what hazards comes. Otherwise it will not be possible. Suppose if you sit on a chair also, you should look after your posture, otherwise you will have back pain. When you lift something heavier, if you do not properly lift it, you will have the back pain and ultimately slip disc, and then doctor will fit the screw, he will take 2 lakhs of rupees, but you will never be able to walk freely, right? Or knee replacement, you don't do exercise, you are facing problem. Those who are housewife, having the repetitive strain injury, okay? So you should take care of your own health, safety and surrounding environment. This is one part. Second thing about the HSE in industries. You see how the industry will develop, because the investor first of all says that we want profit and immediate profit. Okay, but if they would little bit invest about the safety, they would see, you see, he has told, and my learned friend has told, they are having the safety system very good, I know. I am connected to many big industries and small industries also, safety, health and environment. I told one Malik, Lalaji, Mr. Bajrang Agoral, he knows very well. So told that Uddoginang Purusasingam Upaiti Lakshmi. I told him in the first day, when he asked me that how you see my organization, I told that there is no safety. There will be so many accidents, so many fires, so many things for life. अरे शुभ शुभ बात बोलिए वो हमारा मंदिर है she will save. I told Uddoginang Purusasingam Upaiti Lakshmi. So if you don't take initiative on safety, Lakshmi bhi kripa nahi karega. Okay? So safety is a profitable business, he should think, and he then did help me something and invest some money towards safety. Then they have grown. Okay? So the safety system itself, or the learned industry or other focused. So industrial safety is most important. If you invest on safety, it good return. And the presentation also, it will be like that. I will focus there also. So with that, I again thank to all the dignitaries here and the students. Please learn and behave as a safety officer, as a safety man, as a safety preacher. Safety, health and environment awareness is very, very important. Learn something, apply something, and everyday life you have to apply your own safety system. Okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable message. Just now, some of our delegate has joined us, so would like to welcome him with a flower bouquet and a memento. For this, I would like to call upon Mr. Rajdeep Jana. We would like to felicitate Professor Pulakesh Bera, Professor, Department of Chemistry, Pashkura Bonumali College, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would also like to welcome Mr. Shukhen Das, Senior Manager Production of MCCPI Haldia, with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would like to request Mr. Shukhen Das, Senior Manager Production of MCCPI Haldia, to say few words.
Hello. Thank you, sir. Good morning to all of you. So I am working in Mitsubishi presently as a senior manager position in Department of Production. So as sir has already explained the importance of HSE-2023. So important part is the safety and health and environment. So now environment is the big challenge, is the global warming. So we should focus on this. So one of the major reason of this global warming is the carbon dioxide emission. So these carbon dioxide emissions is from the industries, and this industry is required for the development, the GDP and this to create job opportunities. So regarding this CO2 part, whatever that is emitted in the atmosphere, so we need to focus on that, how to reduce these emissions. So finally, whatever pollutions we are creating in the environment, so that is hampering the health part and overall the safety part. So safety, there are two parts. One is personal safety, another is professional safety. Once you will be working in industry, you will come to know about this professional safety part. And personal safety is required everywhere. So awareness is very, very important. So environment part I have explained, and safety part, personal safety definitely you have to follow everywhere. And professional safety is a part of industry. And health part comes over whatever misdoing we are performing, that will finally impact on the health. So whatever sir has explained regarding this corona, so this is basically the lack of good management of the bioorganisms. So this has happened. So this part also you have to take care as an engineer and as a researcher, as an expertise that how to we have to protect the environment. So finally, if we can protect our environment, we can protect our health. So I would like to thank everyone. I would like to thank sir to give me the opportunity to speak. So I personally thanks and have an honor to everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Conference proceeding is a collection of different academic papers obtained from various notable fields. Conference proceeding is not only a book, rather a treasure where researchers make their contribution. So I'd like to request our chief guest, Sri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, to inaugurate our conference proceeding. And I would also like to request all other dignitaries to join him for the same. Thank you, everyone. Now we have already reached towards the end of this inaugural session. So I would request Dr. Shubroto Jana, Convener HSE-2023, Professor, Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, to deliver vote of thanks.
Good morning to everybody. I congratulate Shri Dilip Kumar Bera, President, Brajalachak Welfare Organization, Professor R.N. Jana, Shamul Ranjan Maiti, Professor Twin Subro Shatra, Professor Pulokesh Bera, Dr. Sunirmal Jana, Sanjeev Kumar Jana, Professor and other delegates who have come here maintaining their tight schedule. I congratulate them on behalf of Brajalachak Welfare Organization. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. So it's the end of the session. So myself, Aditi Sinha, Assistant Professor of Department of Chemical Engineering, Haldia Institute of Technology, on behalf of International Conference on Health and Safety Environment, HSE-2023, in this venue of Institute of Fire and Safety Engineering, organized by Haldia Brajalalchak Welfare Organization, would like to thank each of our dignitary with an open heart. Thank you so much, sir. Now it's time for our tea break. We'll disperse for our tea break. Then we'll join for our plenary lecture session. Our first lecture will be delivered by Shri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSC Guide, Accredited HAZOP Leader, ex-ICI. So let's disperse for the tea break. Then we'll start for plenary lecture session.
Thank you.
দেখা যাচ্ছে সেদিন সরিয়ে দিই ওখানে বাজে লাগছে দেখা যাচ্ছে
সেইটি থাকলে অনেক স্কুলে প্রোগ্রাম করতে যেত, ওরা খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং। ওই যে আমি বলছিলাম যে স্টুডেন্টরা সব থেকে এইটা থাকলে কি আপনিও দেখি বলার একটা ইয়ে পাবেন যে আমার স্পিকার এখন বলতে শেখার সুবিধা হবে যখন অডিয়েন্স ঠিক পজিটিভ আইটিসি তাদের সমস্ত এমপ্লয়িদের ফ্যামিলির জন্য মানে মাসে 2টো করে আমাকে প্রোগ্রাম করতে হতো 1 বছর ধরে, সমস্ত এমপ্লয়ি তাদের ফ্যামিলি কুইজ টাইপের, মাল্টিপল চয়েস থাকবে। হ্যাঁ, এরকম ওই যে যেমন কোশ্চেন করলাম, হ্যাঁ দরজাটা কী করে খুলবেন হামাগুড়ি দিয়ে দেখিও, প্লাস অ্যাপ্লাইড প্র্যাকটিক্যাল লাইফে খুব দরকার। ওই খেলাগুলো রেগুলার আমি এখনও করছি এই বয়সে বিভিন্ন জায়গায়, প্লাস এনাদের তো অ্যাপ্লাইড ইকোনমিক সাবজেক্টটা আমি পড়াই। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
Hello. Once again, welcome to this international conference on health, safety and environment, HSE-2023. Today is the first day of this international conference. So we would proceed towards our technical lecture session. Our first plenary lecture will be delivered by our chief guest, Sri Shamul Ranjan Maiti, HSE Guide, accredited HAZOP leader. Sir, the stage is all yours.
লাইটগুলো বন্ধ করে দিল তো। হ্যাঁ, লাইটগুলো বন্ধ করে দিলে দেখা যায় ভালো। এটা প্রেজেন্টেশন কোথায়? ওই ছেলেটিকে দেখো। স্লাইড শোতে দাও। ওহো, ক্লিক করলে হবে তো? ওকে, গুড মর্নিং এগেন। হ্যালো, can you all hear? Can you all hear? Okay. So, as a veterans member of National Safety Council, remembering Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who initiated this National Safety Council in 1966. So, this message is there before starting my program. It takes a minute to write a safety rule. It takes an hour to hold a safety meet. It takes a week to plan a safety program. It takes a month to put into action. It takes lifetime to make a safe life. But it takes only a second to destroy all these by an accident. Accidents are never happened, they are caused. আর অ্যাক্সিডেন্টের 3টি মাত্র কারণ আমার সকালবেলা আমার বন্ধু বলেছিলেন, আনসেফ অ্যাক্ট, আনসেফ কন্ডিশন, দেয়ার ইজ থার্ড। 3 নম্বরটা কি কেউ বলবেন? 3 নম্বরটা আমি একটু ইন্টারাক্টিভ মুডে যাব। হ্যাঁ, কেউ বলবেন কিছু? Unsafe mind, that is also unsafe act. Anything else? Huh? Climatic, unsafe condition. Anything else? Anything else? No. That is combination of unsafe act and unsafe condition. Okay. এই তিনটি মাত্র কারণ, নো কপাল, ইল লাক, ব্যাড লাক, গডস গ্রেস বা গডস নাথিং। ঠিক আছে, তো এইটা দিয়ে শুরু করছি, কিন্তু কথা হচ্ছে আমরা কেউই এগুলো কেয়ার করি না। অ্যান্ড হোয়াট উই ডু, आवर एक्सपर्ट्स सेज नथिंग विल हैपन, चलता है चलने दो, किसी तरह से मैनेज कर लो, एक्सीडेंट हो तो देखा जाएगा, एज इन द प्रीवियस सेशन टोल्ड, बट द कॉस्ट बिकम enormous, just like Bhopal incident, okay, Flixboro incident, so many things. So very costly emergency situation. So I will share my example. I will share my experience also. You know, we have a carbon disulfide plant for rubber chemical in ICI. So mercaptobenzothiazole, carbon disulfide is required. So that carbon disulfide was being manufactured in our industry. And you know, as the carbon disulfide was available in the market low cost, so we stopped that plant for long. And what happened, it was about to be sold as a scrap value. During opening that reactor, what happened, it was filled in with water, but they thought that it is heavier, so they drained all the water. When the sludge came, it caught fire, because carbon sulfide is very much flammable, you know. Okay, so it caught fire and the whole plant was gutted and scrap value was reduced to zero. So that was my experience first. So immediately ICI UK gave us a big book, that guideline for mothballing, and we were surprised what is mothballing. Mothballing interesting একটা topic. Mothballing, আপনারা বেনারসি শাড়ির ফাঁকে ন্যাপথেলিন দিয়ে রাখেন প্রিজার্ভ করার জন্য, যাতে ভবিষ্যতে পরা যায়, নাহলে পোকায় কেটে দেবে, তাই তো? সো mothballing is like that. Okay. So I am sharing another accident. During opening a plug valve, entrapped gas was there. So it exploded while opening, and then there was a fatal accident. You see this lost time accident, and the person was not survived. Okay. Another accident, this you see the corroded idle plant for long time. So when it was used as a fall protection, so the person made a fatal accident. So another accident with the milk release, MIC, what happened in Bhopal. So because a lengthy period for maintenance work was going on, so you see that incident happened. Another incident happened, you see, in New Delhi during the lockdown period. You know, I asked my all clients to take mothball action, because we don't know how long the plant will be shut down. Okay, this is another accident. If this accident I faced, I was a consultant there. You know, the cotter pin is being used, those who are in industry or just like in hook, cotter pin was less costlier. Somebody suggested the management that why is to spend so much money for this cotter pin. So low cost cotter pin was used, and this accident happened. I audited this plant. I told them what action you have taken to preserve it. They told no, it will be just now it will be demolished, so nothing will happen. And see what happened. After a few days it happened. I audited this plant and asked them. Okay, next. Next. এই হচ্ছে না কেন? ঠিক আছে, হচ্ছে, ওকে। হ্যাঁ, previous. So these things happened in our organization. You know, there was a solvent storage. Okay, so it was shut down for long. So there was vapor loss. Okay, so one enthusiast engineer, he told that the breathing valve at the top should be spaded. So he put a stopper plate on the breathing valve, and in the winter it bulged like that and ultimately collapsed. Okay, so another incident you see, I saw this one. There is a sulfuric acid plant, and sulfuric acid was being kept, concentrated sulfuric acid. So this was a scrap storage. So what happened? They poured water, filled with water, and then decided to cut it. Water was drained. When they are going to cut by welding, it was exploded. So they were surprised how it was exploded. You know, this small local cell was there and hydrogen gas was evolved. Okay, so that causes the explosion. So you see all these things. This is the process activity model. All these are there, you know very well. So I don't want to go. But idle plant causes maintenance long term and short term. Market demand causing short closure. ठीक है, now market is bad, so after 6 months when the market will rise, we will then restart the plant, or many other reasons to sell as a scrap, old plant, ठीक है. Alternate low cost sources, sudden major breakdown, plant seasonal closure, you know, particularly the cane sugar plants, they 6 months it runs and 6 months it is closed. Okay, so then pandemic lockdown, just like corona, during corona, natural calamity, labor unrest, strike period we have faced in our organization several times, and management of change. We want to change some equipment, then it is shut down. But during this shutdown, if you do not care, what will happen? Material in pipeline and equipment, it is there. Corrosion, reaction, side reaction by chemicals, it can happen. Electrical wear and tear, if the motor is stopped for a long time, then insulation will go down and you have to heat to restart. Okay? What can happen? Fire, explosion and implosion. Implosion means it just bulge out. Structural integrity failure, collapse. You have seen that slide. Problem in restarting process. There may be sudden explosion. We have a system. I am just sharing my experience. It will be helpful. Chlorine and air was being mixed in rubber chemical plants. So there was a blower. Okay, so somehow it was stopped. Then chlorine went back to the blower system. Okay, and there is grease. So there was side reaction, chlorine and grease. What happened? Then when the blower was restarted, it exploded. Okay, and one person was injured, who started it. Another incident also like that. So many incidents happens like that. So, and vent PRV failure causing the toxic release, just like, you know, MIC or Flixporo, this management of change and dismantling equipment for management of change and scrap, and many more. I am telling this happened in Flixborough. There are a series of reactors, and they thought that one reactor, if we remove, nothing will happen. So they are very glad to just put a short piece there with a bellow line, and then it was working for 1 month, and after that suddenly pressure went up, and then the whole plant was gutted. Whole plant was destroyed, Flixborough incident. So these are so always you should think for mothballing. You know, there are some terms, abandonment, decommissioning, dismantling, mothballing, recommissioning. These are, the abandonment. For some time it is stopped. Decommissioning means then the plant should be decommissioned for some time, particularly the pilot plants, they are decommissioned several times. Okay. And mothballing is the process of dismantling to decommissioned, equipment, facility in a state that preserves their fitness. So means that equipments should be kept fit so that it can be restarted later, right? Then recommissioning. So these are the terminology. Then mothballing, now the terms, it has come from the pesticide or naphthalene balls kept from that this term has come. The practice of closing the facilities over a long time. So these are two things are there, active and inactive. So we want to we have to decide whether we have to keep the plant active or it is to be inactive. Active means for a short time, so that it will be running sometime, it will be checked, is there any corrosion or not, erosion or not, or side reaction or not, the health of the equipments, and after that, so that this no unusual occurrences happen. So mothballing means it is a systematic approach for keeping all the equipment, either it is active or it is totally inactive, right? A detailed planned layout, fully planned layout should be studied thoroughly, equipment or line-wise, just like hazard study, hazards and operability study, and all the system, the experience from hazard and hazard investigation, this HIRA, hazard, job safety analysis, job hazard analysis, hazard identification, hazard analysis, failure mode effect assessment, so hazard identification, risk assessment, all these things should be taken care, right? And you see the protection period of the plant also to be considered. If it is short term, say 1 to 18 months, it depends on the preservator which you are using. Say in one reactor you decided to fill with inert gas, say nitrogen. Just like in MIC in Bhopal, Union Carbide, they preserve it by nitrogen. But what happened? The lifetime was extended. So nitrogen became inactive. So that's why that accident happened. So you have to think of the preservative life. Short term means 1 to 18 months, medium term means 19 to 60 months, long term means over 3 years. So for process and power, separate preservatives are there and procedures are there. It is selected from the guideline. Just like if there is a system, you have to put inert gas, sometimes helium is necessary. Those who are working in the plant, another thing I am telling, this glass wool insulator is there. So sometimes it is damaged. So, oil leaks and goes inside it. Say, what happened? Then chain reaction happen, okay, in glass wool. So CO plus H, CO plus H, CO plus H will be there, carbon monoxide and hydrogen. What happened? During heating, nothing will happen. But when you are putting in cooling condition, the air will be dragged inside the glass wool and there will be explosion or fire, right there. So everything is possible if you are keeping idle. In house also, your gas cylinder, suppose keeping idle and the cooking place is closed door. So then what will happen? If certain gas leakage, then air and gas will mix explosive mixture. There is lower explosive limit, upper explosive limit. So there will be explosions if the gas leaks. If you just open the door or if you switch on or the temperature is raised. Okay. So it can happen. So everywhere you should consider about this. So what the consideration point? Store it safely, insulating, isolating properly, cleaning, coating, running time to time, greasing, protecting, maintaining, securing asset. Securing asset means security should be there. The plant is idle, so thief may go and they can open. It happens at many times. And inspecting it regularly. So these are the points to be considered, okay? So, next. So, some important points for mothballing. Think for a long term. Chances are a market dislocation won't last forever, even it is made scrap. Set aside money for mothballing. This is most important. No investor want to invest, just like our friends told earlier, that safety is a bad investment, so don't invest on safety. So maintain the permit to work. That is most important, because hazards are mostly can be mitigated by permit to work only. So please maintain it strictly. Handle the hazardous material early on. Clean up later will be far more expensive. Enlist experienced worker, operators and mechanics. Don't depend on the contractors, because if they are not experienced, they will face the accident and you have to compensate. Keep good records, what was done and what is maintained and when. And prepare a dossier so that when you hand over the plant, it is clear and it is documented and your asset will be give return more, right? So this is the guideline which was given to us from ICI. You can see that, download, right? Now the next basic message for investor: a small investment in safety for a rich return, or what I told earlier, pustakasya tuja vidya parahasta gatang dhanam karjakale samutpanne nasavidya tato dhanam. We are giving a lecture, you are writing, noting, the notes are given, everything is there, but if you do not apply in time, it will be just waste. You have money, you have knowledge, everything is there, but you have kept aside for your own benefit. It will not give returns. Okay? Now I can ask any question. If you have, yes? Please.
For mothballing,
Yes.
previous slide. We need to take MOC, management of change, we need to take, no?
Yes, yes, definitely. Mothballing is a very lengthy process. You have to sit with the layout of the plant, and one by one, if you shut down even for a maintenance also, then also you have to consider this point. Mothballing is so important, right? Anything else? Yes. Glass wool, yes.
We have seen multiple times industry that is getting soaked by oil leakage, like decanter oil
very dangerous.
So we have to replace the glass only. So if it is not replaced, what is it? It will react to form carbon monoxide and nitrogen.
Yes, the chain reaction will be there. During hot condition, nothing will happen because it is coming out. It is not coming in contact with the air. But when you are apply cooling, that time air will be dragged and inside it will go and you will see the smoke is coming and fire is there. I have seen several times. Okay? Any good? Yeah, please.
So, in case of any low boiling liquids like acetone.
Yes, Hari. Acetone air mixture is explosive. Acetone, toluene, this type of chemicals. So, inert atmosphere you have to keep. In laboratory also toluenes are there. Toluene is so flammable, highly flammable. If you just grinder or something like that, if you just caught fire. So statical electricity is generated.
What type of precautions?
So you have to keep in cool. It does not drop in the woolen things and cottons. Okay. So you have to keep it in cool position. The temperature is specified, and this toluene is so dangerous. So that it is a narcotic drug also. Okay. So you feel the dizziness. Anything else? Any question? Any other? Any other question? Yes? Okay. Anyone from madam? Chain reaction. একটু বলুন. Madam is expert. No, okay.
So please repeat the question, Ekbar.
Actually, the cotton soap cloth. Even
Yes.
the linseed oil. I'm telling one example. If you keep in just sunny weather, it will catch fire because it dissipate in the fibers
Fibers,
and
yes.
chain reaction happens. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Any other question? This is interesting subject. Please, you can disturb me anytime after this session also. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Should I close?
Yes, sir.
So, thank you.
So, thank you very much, sir, for sharing your wide experience with us, as well as we are very fortunate to receive you, and for sharing this valuable information. We have learned many things from you, and now we would like to appreciate him with a memento. For this, I would like to call upon Mr. Rajdeep Chana to hand over one memento to Sri Shamul Ranjan Maiti. Next, we have another invited lecture session with a Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra, who is from Department of Engineering Design, IIT Madras. One of our delegates have just joined us, so we would like to felicitate him with a flower bouquet and a memento. We would like to felicitate Mr. Mihir Dash, BOG member of Institute of Fire and Safety, with a flower bouquet and a memento. For this, I would like to call upon Sri Dilip Kumar Bera to felicitate him with a flower bouquet and a memento. So proceeding towards our technical lecture session, our next session is with Professor Tuhin Shubro Shatra from Department of Engineering Design, IIT Madras.
Good afternoon, everyone. So here my talk is biomedical micro nano devices and its health benefits. So specially here I will give a talk how we fabricate the device, different kind of micro nano device and how it can be applicable for health benefits. To fabricate this kind of device and to apply for health benefits, we maintain properly that biosafety maintenance and biohazardous maintenance. But how we maintain the biosafety and biohazardous, so it's so how we maintain the biosafety and biohazardous, so it's difficult to provide into the single PPT, like the fabrication of the device and health benefits with the biosafety and biohazardous. So we skip that how we maintain that biosafety biohazardous, but we fabricate how the device fabricate and how it's give the health benefits, so that we will discuss. So myself, Tuhin Sandra, so from Department of Engineering Design, from Bio Micro Nano Laboratory, IIT Madras. So this is our most of the research interest, bio micro device, cell chip, lab on a chip, organ on a chip, nanomedicine. So first I will go to that that different kind of drug delivery system. So first you can see that endocytosis process. So where you have the biological cells, and that biological cells, when it can seed and it have that random nanopore can form, and then drug can deliver randomly inside the cell. So it's have the time consuming process and uncontrollable. Then you have the gene therapy using virus. So where that specific DNA or RNA can code with that specific virus, and then that virus can enter inside the cell, and then the drug can deliver inside the cell. But that particular, this case, specific virus needed and toxic issue is that important issue. Another is the electroporation, where you have applied that high electric field into the cell. Then cell membrane can open the pore and drug can deliver inside the cell. But due to high electric field, cell can damage easily. Then microinjection process, where you have the microneedle which can insert into the cell and deliver the drugs. And when you withdraw the needle, then the cell membrane can damage, and it's also a time consuming process, and cell can damage easily. So ideal drug delivery tool, generally we need to deliver very large cargo delivery inside the cell, high delivery efficiency, high cell viability, and different kind of cell therapy we can do, and high throughput delivery. So here we designed that one device which is US patented, and here we can see that this is the silicon based fabricated device, semiconductor device, where we can put the drugs into that inlet channel, and this is the very tiny electrode, and the cancer cell seated in between that electrode. So when we apply that voltage, then electric field can highly concentrate into that bottom of the cell. Then cell membrane can open up the pore, and whatever the drug, so that by that syringe it can deliver into the bottom of the chip, and it can deliver inside the cell. So now this design, based on the novelty of the design, and first time this single cell, we do the single cell therapy, and this single cell therapy is very important to analyze the different kind of disease. If you do that any bulk level of therapy, so then whatever the data you took, the average data, but for disease analysis, if you do the single cell, then you can analyze that cell to cell variation, and how that every cells have that different kind of genome sequence, so that you can do by that single cell analysis. So here we perform that single cell, and after publication this in prestigious lab on a chip, so this news is released in Hindu business line throughout that India, new method for shipping of material inside the cell. And this we did the chip fabrication, so I will not go to the detail. It is a complete micro fabrication and nano fabrication technique, and lot of hazardous issue have here, so we properly maintain that environment and safety issue, and then we fabricated the device. And this is the final fabricated device where we can see that this is the device, and where we have that inlet where we can put the drugs, and cancer cell we can put into this chamber, and outlet we can just collect that drugs and that cell. So the results, we can see that whatever this single cell, this is the, you can see that human lung cancer cell, and we applied that electrode, and if we apply the voltage in between two electrodes, then electric field can highly concentrate in this region. So that's why the cell membrane can deform and it can make the nanopore, and then whatever the biomolecules outside of the cell, it can enter inside the cell by diffusion process. So we started with that PI dye, which is that one kind of biomolecule, and if it is outside the cell, it will not give any color, and whenever cell membrane can deform and it can create the nanopore, then this PI molecule can enter inside the cell and it will give the red color. So when we apply this kind of 6 volt peak to peak 20 millisecond pulse, and we can see that 1 second, 3 second, and where that cell membrane can deform, and we can do the therapy and we can break the membrane, and drugs can deliver slowly inside the cell. And we can see that even in single cell, it can take that 28 to 30 seconds to deliver the drug inside that human lung cancer cell. So next, we deliver that quantum dot, and here you have that 2 electrodes, and we break the single cell into the 2 different parts, and cell membrane can open up the pore into that 2 different parts, and we use that human colon cancer cell, 6 volt 40 millisecond pulse, and this quantum dot, when it is outside of the cell, it will not give any color, and when it can enter inside the cell, then we can see that red color is appearing into that human colon cancer cell, and we can understand that how long time drug can take to deliver inside the cell. So it's nearly that this quantum dot is very big, is 10 nanometer, so it can take nearly that 28 minutes to 40 minutes to deliver inside the cell. So next we confirm that by confocal scanning microscope image. So confocal scanning microscope can confirm that how that molecules are distributed inside that cancer cell, and we scan from top to bottom, and we can see that that quantum dot, it's distributed inside that colon cancer cell, and it's successfully delivered inside the cell. Next we deliver the DNA, which is the plasmid DNA, and we can see that generally DNA cannot enter directly inside the cell, so we must need to do the therapy. So here that colon cancer cell, 6 volt peak to peak 20 millisecond we applied, and we can see that the DNA which can enter inside the cell, and it can give the green color that in cell cytosol, it is in 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, and after 10 hours we can see that DNA is completely delivered inside the cell, and it can change the genome sequence of that single cell level, and we can cure the disease by this kind of single cell therapy. Another approach we invented, this is the first time in the world, that infrared light activated diode laser activated 3D cancer therapy, where we can see that in laboratory we build up with the proper safety protocol, we build up this kind of 3D cancer tissue or 3D cancer, and then we just did that this kind of infrared diode laser we expose into that 3D cancer, and then we deliver the drugs or molecules into the 3D cancer, so which can be mimic that tissue therapy. So based on this novelty of this invention, this Royal Society of Chemistry analysts, they published our paper into that cover page of their journal. So here what we did, first we fabricated that gold nanostar particle by microfluidic device, and then this gold nanostar particle mixed into that 3D cancer cells, and then we exposed the pulse laser. So then what will happen when we expose the pulse laser, so this is the 3D cancer, and we mix the nanoparticle and we expose the laser. So then the nanoparticle can heat up and it can induce that surface plasmon, and by this induced surface plasmon, so then cell membrane can heat up and cell membrane can deform and it can create the nanopore, and then whatever the drugs or molecules, it can enter inside the cell. So by this way we can do the tissue therapy. So it is a laboratory based 3D cancer therapy. We did this E9, that is the rat neuronal epithelial cells, and we perform that enhanced green fluorescence, green protein delivery. So if the protein can deliver inside the cell, then we can see that this is the green color EGFP delivery, and after green color EGFP delivery, then by calcium arrow, which is the red color, can confirm that
after delivery your 3D cancers is live, and then yellow color is the Mars image, which is confirmed that after delivery, drug delivery, then the cells are live. So by this live cells, so after delivered the drug, so it can do the gene therapy and it can change the genome sequence of the cells, and so that's why the disease cell can be recovered to the normal cell. So this is the confocal microscope image also confirmed that the green color is the deliver of that enhanced green fluorescence protein. The red color is the live cells of the 3D cancer therapy, and this is the yellow color confirming that cells are live after delivery. So similarly, we also do that confocal microscope scanning, and we can see that very clearly that in 3D cancer, we can do the therapy of the DGFP delivery, and then we can do the cell viability and Mars image. So till nowadays, in the whole world, people cannot do this kind of therapy. So this is the first invention in the world that we can completely deliver the drugs into the trillions of cells in uniformly, and then we can do the therapy for different kind of disease analysis or different kind of to cure the disease to that, and we can convert the disease cell to that normal cell. So here that another delivery, that enzyme delivery, which is very, very large drugs, and that enzyme can do that many activity into that cell, and we successfully deliver this kind of enzyme, which is the red color, and into that human neuroblast cell, and then we perform that calcium RO imaging, which can confirm that green color can confirm that cells are live after that enzyme delivery. So now that another perform that single cell therapy, as we told that single cell therapy is the booming research into the world, mostly do that Stanford, Harvard, Cambridge University, so they do this kind of single cell therapy, but till in India it's a lack of technology, we cannot perform. But first time we perform into that India, that what we did, this is the PDMS stamp, and this is the green color is the protein we stamp into the substrate. So then we culture the cancer cell into that protein, so that cell can attract into that protein and it can attach into the single cell array into that top of the protein. And then we release that different kind of drugs or molecules we just put into that top of the cell. Then another device, which is the titanium micro device, which is just aligned in top of the cancer cell, and then we expose the laser and scan the laser. So whenever we can expose this laser, then this titanium device can heat up, and due to that heat, and so thermal photothermal bubble can generate, and this bubble can force into the cell membrane, and this cell membrane is just 5 nanometer thickness, and this membrane can deform and can create the nanopore. Then whatever the biomolecule, it can diffuse inside the cell. So by this way we do the single cell therapy, and after therapy we can analyze that how each cell have that individual function, or each cancer cell they are in similar biological function, or they have the different biological function, and also we can study that cell to cell communication, how one cancer cell can interact to the other cancer cell after therapy. So this is the PDMS microstamp with the protein stamping, and this is the branch of cells which are the stamp into that substrate. So here we also study that we put just one cancer cell and rest of the other normal cell, and how that one cancer cell can interact with the other normal cells, so that also we can study in this platform. So then we different kind of PDMS stamp, 40 micron, 16 micron, 80 micron, and 100 micron, and then we stamp this kind of single cell, which is the green color, as you can see. So this is the human cervical cancer cell, and this is that rat fibroblast cell, and we can stamp this kind of single cell, and we can do that cell to cell communication study. So then we did the delivery after that cell printing, as you can see that enzyme delivery, that red color is the enzyme delivery into that human cervical cancer cell, and this is the rat fibroblast cell, and after delivery we perform that green color is that cell is live after delivery, and then we are performing that how after drug delivery how their genome sequence are changing, and how cell are from cancer cell to transfer the normal cell, or even we can do that normal cell therapy and we can transfer to the cancer cell, so that cell to cell communication study, and that the genome sequence changing that we are starting by this kind of single cell therapy. So this is the siRNA delivery, and again same thing that after siRNA delivery how the disease can be analyzed after delivery, and this is the calcium red orange for cell viability. The next we are doing that periodontal disease model and drug screening application. So generally as you know that everybody we have the teeth, and in bottom of the teeth we have 3 layers, generally cementum, bone and that fiber. So whenever we press that bone is excessively, or that teeth we excessively make the pressure, so then these three layers, cementum, bone and fiber, it can damage, and then or some that bacterial infection, actually it can make that inflammation and it can make the cavity, so then blood can release from this teeth, and then you need to release your teeth and you need to do the surgery. So this kind of problem into that cavity problem, so we try to solve, and in India, we can see that this kind of have that very high dental problem or dental disease. And if you have the dental disease, the National Institute of Health, that US, they confirm that if you have the dental disease, then it can have that after that you have the diabetes or you have the heart disease which is related to that dental disease. So we try to perform, to fabricate some scaffold, and the tunable scaffold, and that scaffold can put into that gap area, and then that cell can be cultured and cell can be resealed into that gap, and by that way we can do that this kind of the dental therapy. So here the dental surgery, what we did that this kind of whatever you have the defect and the blood is releasing, so then this kind of tri-layer, we artificially fabricate this kind of tunable tri-layer, and this kind of the fiber layer can automatically adjust, and then this kind of scaffold we can put it in here, and then the cell can easily grow, and we can do this kind of dental surgery, and then whatever the blood or infection can be protected by this kind of 3D scaffold design and replace this kind of 3D scaffold. So we design that 3D printed scaffold, and then we culture the cells into that bone, ligament and cementum, that 3 layer, and we have seen that cells, whatever that 3 layer, 3 different kind of cells can culture very well, and this kind of 3D scaffold can be highly applicable for this kind of the dental surgery. So another important thing, so this is also that fibroblast cell we culture into the scaffold, and we found that this kind of scaffold is very promising for that dental surgery. Next we did that how this kind of 3 layer is interact with each other. So we fabricated this microfluidic device, and that dental layer, cementum, fibroblast and that osteoblast, so that 3 cells we culture, and then we treated with the different drugs and hormone, and then we study that how that cells are interacting in this 3 layer and how the disease is progressing, so that we are studying, and we do this kind of the drug screening application, where we found that this kind of 3 layer that cells can be cultured, and they can interact with each other, and they can do the signaling with each other, and we can do this kind of drug screening applications, and how that 3 layer is important for that any kind of dental infection, to cure the dental infection. Next, that last device, which is nowadays that booming for food industries, mostly the sperm cell sex sorting using that microfluidic device. So currently this kind of sperm cell sorting, which is very important for food industry and for fertilization industry. So mostly in the Gujarat, UP, so where you need that they have that lot of generating the milk, so there you need like that female cow. So we can produce this kind of female cow, or wherever you need that meat, we can produce that male, that pig or that male cow. So by this way, like we can, using this kind of that microfluidic device, we can separate that sperm that is X chromosome and Y chromosome, and then we can apply for fertilization. So currently whatever that food industry, milk industry, so mostly that one US company, they do this kind of sperm cell sorting for buffalo, and then mostly that all the food industry, they use this kind of sperm sex sorting and then the fertilization. So the cost of that equipment is nearly 4 crore, and first time in India we developed this kind of device, which that device cost is nearly 1,000 rupees, and which can highly efficiently can separate this kind of X sperm and Y sperm. So how we can do that? So here you have the sperm, and that sperm can be buffalo sperm, it can be deer sperm, it can be pig sperm, and then this sperm can be flow, and you have that X chromosome and Y chromosome. So generally for that X chromosome for fertilization for female, and Y chromosome for fertilization for male, and we bind with that silica magnetic nanoparticle with the Y sperm, because Y sperm have that the charge is minus 16 millivolt, and then magnetic particles are bind with that Y sperm, and then we flow the sperm, and then in this bottom of the device we have that magnet, and then X sperm can be flow, and that magnetic particle is bind with that Y sperm, so that Y sperm can be stacked into the device. So finally we can collect that X sperm, and then later after release that magnet, then we can collect that Y sperm. So by this way, you can just separate nearly 90%, more than 95%, then we can apply for fertilization industry to make the product as that male or female animal. So now by this way, so this is our fabricated device. So again, we maintain the proper safety and proper protocol. So we use a lot of acetone, a lot of isopropyl alcohol, a lot of different kind of acids to fabricate this kind of micro device and nano device. And this is our experimental results. As you can see that this is the X sperm, which is this is the fluorescence tag X sperm, which have the little bit of thicker, and Y sperm you can see that very narrow. And when we flow and after collecting this kind of sperm, and we can see that this is the experimental results, and where that 50 microliter per hour we flow, and we can see that most of the X sperm that we can collect, and there is only that Y sperm, which is only one Y sperm. So here we can, that efficiency of our device is nearly 93%. So similarly, the Y sperm, as you can see that these all are the Y sperm, and X sperm we can separate, and then these Y sperms we can use for fertilization industry to make the product as male or female animal. So this is the conclusion. So we do the diverse type of biomedical device for different kind of health benefit, for periodontal disease therapy, to that dental surgery, to the drug screening, or to that sperm separation. This is the related to the book we published in different year, and which is the single biomolecule different kind of book published in different year. We are also going to that startup company into that IIT Madras Research Park. We have that optopolator device we developed, and we are launching the company into that coming year. So which can be first time that drug resistance testing, cancer drug resistant testing, it can do more than efficiency with more than 98%. And we have this kind of Gelma polymerization device for dental surgery. We also have that nanomaterial synthesis for microfluidic flow reactor and the sperm sorting device. We are launching these 4 devices with our startup company. We have a lot of collaborators for this work from that mostly Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, US, UK, Singapore, Hong Kong. So many professors are involved with our work. We applied like 10 patents into that year 2020, and right now just last 3.5 years we applied almost 32 patents, which is the mostly US patent, Indian patent, Japanese patent, Taiwan patents. And we are the almost #1 patent inventor in the India in last 3.5 years. This is our lab, which we maintain the safety protocol, proper environment, which is the laser room, cell biology room, fabrication room, chemical room, different kind of that for fabricate the device and perform the experiment. This is our group, like we have nearly 15 PhD students at this moment and 3 postdoc. Thank you very much, and if you have any questions.
Very important and in-depth work, and also excellent presentations. So I have few queries.
Yeah.
So when you are coating with silica, so there is a chance of silicolysis, and that can affect on the human body. So what is your next target to prevent it?
Yeah, of course we didn't study it, and as you can see that X sperm there is no effect. So only Y sperm have that magnetic particle. So we are trying to to release that magnetic particle, and if there is any effect, so now we are trying to test the cytotoxicity test and in different biological aspects.
Okay. My next question is, there are so many devices nowadays available internationally.
Sperm sorting, no device. It's nearly 70% efficiency, till no device.
So with respect to cost, where we are?
So that's why we are telling that only one US company in the whole world, most of the Europe, India, they provide that 4 crore equipment. Even they sell the 4 crore equipment, even if you prepare one X and Y chromosome, so they took that nearly 500 rupees for, that is also company then we need to give to the US company. So our Indian government actually requested to us specially to focus into this sperm sorting because of the Indian food industry. So then we started this work in last 3 years, And based on that 4 crore equipment, so one device for our case, it's nearly 1,000 to 1,200 rupees. And we can do nearly 4 to 5 times palm sorting in one single device, then we can throw it. It's a use and throw device. So in terms of cost, like it's a very cheaper device. Now we need to test the safety protocol, and also for fertilization, for clinical trials, we need to do that.
So in different IITs, this type of work is going on, like your institute. But among the CSR institutes like CCMB Hyderabad and Indian Institute of Chemical Biology, Jadavpur, Kolkata, they are also working in this area. So do you have any collaboration with them?
No, I don't have collaboration. So this kind of molecular biology, to work in this molecular biology, you need this kind of micro device, nano device for efficiently fabricate and do that. So till now I don't have collaboration. So we are ready to do the collaboration.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other question from the audience?
I just wanted to thank you for next presentation. In the first part of your talk, there is a when you apply electric field in the ITO glass, right? So you have electrode. ITO glass is actually an electrode. So you said that there is a pore formation, and the material or drugs enters into this. So application of electric field, what is the mechanism of this formation of pores?
Yeah, so generally the membrane is the 5 nanometer thickness. It is considered as a dielectric material. So now if you have membrane and if you apply the electric field just surrounding the membrane, then your permittivity and conductivity will be the difference inside the cell to the outside of the cell. So when you have the permittivity and conductivity difference between inside to outside, and you have the dielectric material, so then this dielectric material act as a capacitor, as a junction capacitor. So whenever it can act as a junction capacitor, that means due to the difference between permittivity and conductivity, then they will try to make the ion channel and ion pore, because it's a junction capacitance. So slowly they will make the ion channel to transport the molecules from that outside to inside or inside to the outside.
So it's something like a chemical signal. It's not physical pore, right?
It's a physical.
So the pore formation is just due to some kind of signaling.
Of the creating of the
signaling due to the dielectric difference, right?
Yes.
Or conductivity difference
due
between
to the conductivity difference.
Conductivity difference. Because why I am saying usually the pores are formed when there is a change in the membrane tension, right?
Yeah.
So there are some proteins which can pore forming proteins and
no,
also.
So that's called the endocytosis.
So
that is automatic process.
That is different. So that's why I wanted to ask.
So that you can only transport very small molecule like 0.5 nanometer. Endocytosis process. But if you want to deliver some DNA, some large molecules, then you forcefully by physical energy you need to create the pore and you need to deliver.
Yeah, this pore size must be very large. Yeah.
So by electric field or by laser energy that we can create the pore.
Is there any possibility at that time the opening, if it is large one then other?
No, then cell can be die. Then cell can be. So we need to optimize that energy.
When you apply the voltage, so it's very
Yeah, it's need to optimize. Yeah. You cannot apply the whatever you want.
When any destruction of cell, basically the pore formation is precursor to that, because when you see the cell get destroyed, so you see that before that you have a pore formation.
Yeah. So cell death we can make easily. We can apply very high electric field and we can kill.
Actually opined that in many such CSL laboratory and others, they are also doing that kind of work. So I never heard that. Do you know about the national status of this kind of work?
No. Electroporation nobody, because you need this kind of micro device.
That is my question.
Without micro device you cannot do that.
I have some work in the artificial membrane, the electroporation. So when you apply electric field, you start seeing the pores and all. So this is in artificial membrane.
Yeah. So at single cell level, like as we have seen, you cannot do that. It's difficult.
Thank you.
So total process monitored by microscope.
Yeah, fluorescence microscope.
Total, a single molecule, a single cell, and others.
Yes. Everything.
Gauge of volume and the opening of the cell.
Yeah, everything fluorescence microscope. Yeah, everything
Confocal
fluorescence microscope and
confocal
confocal
microscopy. Optical
Uh,
microscopy.
yes,
obviously.
optical.
Oh, yes, yes. Optical. The confocal microscopy you only.
High class research, really. Noteworthy. Yeah? So once again, a great clap for doing.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we'd like to felicitate Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra with a memento and a certificate. So I would like to call upon Shri Dilip Kumar Bera to kindly hand over the certificate of appreciation and memento to Professor Tuhin Shubhro Shatra. Moving towards the next technical session, we have with us Dr. Shravani Kaur from Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. So we would like to hear from her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Shravani Kaur from ISER Tirupati. So today I will talk about the medical applications of ultrafast lasers. So as you have seen, this is here I'm talking about lasers and it's ultrafast pulse laser. So briefly, I'll talk about introduce about very briefly considering the background of different fields. So very brief introduction of what is light, what is laser, how pulse laser is different from conventional lasers, what is femtosecond laser and how it is useful for medical applications and how it can be used for applications in biomedical research. So first of all, I think everyone here present knows about atoms. So it contains nucleus, positive nucleus, and electron cloud surrounding it. And different electrons in different orbits actually are represented by different energy levels. So when we consider an electron is getting excited by absorbing energy from an external environment or some external source, it means that the electron is excited to the higher energy level. So it cannot excite in between. So it's very fixed. Now the excited electron cannot can return through different ways. And one of the efficient way is the emission of light. And light here is considered as a quanta of radiation, electromagnetic radiation, and in quantum mechanics sometimes we consider is at particles. So the light can be considered as a particle with energy, which is the energy difference between the higher energy excited states and the lower energy state, ground state. So it has a wave nature, so it can be considered as a electromagnetic radiation as wave which moves in similar to the ripple of water. Now I am not going into what is wavelength and what is frequency, just to let you know, in the white light what you are observing here, it contains different color, that means different wavelengths and different frequencies. So the radiation which usually human eyes can capture is between 400 nanometer to 700 nanometer of wavelengths. And beyond that we have ultraviolet and infrared radiation which we cannot see. Now if you consider human hair, which is usually healthy human hair, which is usually 80 micrometer of diameter, the wavelength of light is so less that red light can be captured 1115 times in the diameter of the human hair. So the light bulb or any light source here, usually it is diverging, usually contains many wavelengths, that is many colors, and they are not coherent. The meaning of coherent I am talking just in the next slide. So if you see here, this is a white light, and if you see the white light, there are different colors, and all these colors, as I have said, the wavelengths are different and they are diverging, so they are spreading out from source in different directions. And there is no phase relationship. So if you have seen any vertical line, dotted line, you see that there is no phase relationship between all these wavelengths. So that is the term coherent I am talking about. Now I am coming to the laser. So that is the brief introduction of normal light and normal light sources. Now I am coming to laser. So laser light is usually collimated, so they can be easily focused by using lens. And they are usually made up of one single color, and they are coherent. So there is phase correlationship between all the photons, between all the waves. So here this is a laser light which is usually emitted by the stimulated emission of atom. So I am not going in details what is stimulated emission. Because of the stimulated emission, this is different kind of emission than the spontaneous emission which usually you have seen in normal light sources. In those cases what happens, the light emitted, they are phase correlated and they are single color because the energy level of the atoms are fixed. So a laser usually is a term, abbreviated form of light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. So if you have seen the words, so amplification and stimulated emission. So now you can distinguish between normal light and laser light. So the laser light is usually very intense and they are highly coherent. So they the electromagnetic radiation acts on material together and highly and completely separately than the normal light. Now in 1960s, around 63 years back, this Professor Maiman actually first invented ruby laser. It was a 3-level solid state laser, and within 1 year they actually was, I am not again going to the what is ruby laser and all these things. So 1 year of invention actually, the scientists in the same group found out it is very useful for medical purpose in human life. So depending on the damages, as I have said, the laser is highly intense, the output is very intense than the normal sources. So there are different kind of biological damages, and depending on that, lasers can be classified into several classes. So depending on materials which is used in lasers, it can be also separated in different classes, classified in different classes. Again, I am not going in details, but all of them actually are very useful for different kind of medical applications. So class 1 laser, as I have said, it doesn't produce any kind of harmful radiation. So the intensity is very low and the energy is in the visible range, doesn't produce any kind of harm. Class 2 laser, if you view into the laser light for long time, you will see the harmful effect on the skin or in your eyes. So the assumption is you are not allowed to see into the class 2 laser for long time, or maybe for a few minutes you can see. Class 3 laser, the lasers are even dangerous for short exposure, and be careful here, there is no pointer. Even many of those laser pointers which you usually see used for presentation, they are not actually good for your eyes. They are mostly class 3 lasers. So be very careful while using laser pointer. Class 4 lasers, you can get blind just after fraction of second, few millisecond exposure into your eyes. So there are several cases throughout world where class 4 laser has done several damages, especially the damage on eyes. Even in India, there are 2 examples of 2 very well-known famous professors. They got this blindness because of this exposure. So whenever you are handling this laser, you have to be very careful. So usually in NASA Research Center, they find out how to classify all different kind of lasers and different kind of high energy lasers. What are the precautions has to be taken while handling it? Because as I said, the medical applications are so high, so you have to be very careful while using laser. They find out how to handle different kind of lasers. And there are different kind of high power lasers nowadays. So even hundreds of terawatt and petawatt lasers. These high powered lasers are different from the normal lasers. The lasers I have told so far are continuous wave laser. So the emission is continuous from the source. But here these high power lasers are actually short pulse laser. So it's like kind of flash. So one flash, second flash, third flash, etc., like a train. And and what happens, the energy is now concentrated within a very short period of time. So their power becomes very high. So again, single pulse can do considerable damage to your eyes. So this is how there is a very big technique, and already 3 Nobel Prizes on this topic. So I am not again going into the detail, but just to give the outline that pulse laser, which are now people using for medical applications, are very different from continuous lasers. Now how to generate short pulses? So as I have said, all the lasers are single color, but pulse laser, they are not single color. Even though there is phase correlation between wavelengths, there are so many broad spectra from visible, from infrared, from UV, depending on which wavelength you want to use it. So it's a pulse, but it's a laser containing different wavelengths. So this is titanium sapphire crystal, which is one of the most used lasers, which produces very, very high power in the range of petawatt. Petawatt means 10 to the power 15 watt. And the pulse width is very, very narrow, around 30 femtosecond. 1 femtosecond, if you just consider 1 femtosecond, it is 10 to the power minus 15 second, which means if you consider the age of universe, you consider 20 minutes is equivalent, the fraction with the age of universe. So this is titanium sapphire laser, which people are using for generating this femtosecond laser. So, and the most powerful laser, which actually reported very recently, 2020, which was in Netherlands. Most of the laser industries are in Germany, Netherlands, and US. So it was generated, it was produced at Netherlands. So 22 femtosecond radiation, and you can see the petawatt is about 10 petawatt. So it's the most powerful one so far in the pulse, in the form of pulses. And now China, they also announced by the end of 2024, they are going to produce around 50 petawatt. So they are also working on that. Now coming to the laser in medical science, I will again briefly introduce how it is applicable. So just after the invention of laser in 1961, the same group, they were also working how the interaction of laser happened with the human human body, and they found out that they are very interesting, they are very powerful for the medical applications. They destroy the retinal tumor in even 1961 in Columbia University. And so far, there are so different branches of medical applications of laser: ophthalmology, dermatology, cancer treatment, urology, hair removal, tattoo removal. And now almost all these directions are moving towards femtosecond laser. And after the invention of autosecond laser, they are again moving towards autosecond laser from last year. Now, what kind of interaction happens with laser? When there is a laser irradiation, there is absorption of photons. There will be reflection, scattering with the tissues. So, among them, the absorption is actually absorb the energy of the photon of the laser light. So, it means the interaction happens mostly, this burning and all kind of interaction happens through absorption. And if you just see a human tissue or human cells, so how the interaction happens, because there are so many components biologically, so depending on what kind of interaction you want. For example, you want with some treatment with melanin, so which is the pigment for the skin, for which pigment you get the skin color. So there is an interaction with the UV light especially, and you can use NDIAC laser. There are protein which carry oxygen in your blood, but it absorbs only UV and blue and green light. So you have to use that particular kind of laser if you are treating the blood related issues. And most of the interactions in human body occurs through water. So that is the most powerful principle through which people are working. Interaction of water with the laser. So, and it can happen from 300 nanometer to UV range, even up to terahertz range. So, there are different kind of interactions, as I have told, but in briefly, if you just see the outlines, so interaction can happen in low level when the temperature of the tissue can increase in between 50 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. It is called photocoagulation. What happens in this kind of interaction, protein and other biomolecules just get disordered. And the application of this kind of interaction is bloodless surgery to destroy tumor, treat eye disorder, etc. This is the first kind of interaction after the invention of laser through which people started understanding laser and tissue interaction. And if the interaction is so high, if the power of the laser is so high that the temperature increases quickly up above 100 degrees Celsius, then there will be, because human body is made up of 70% of water, so there will be boiling and evaporation of water in the tissue. So it's called photovaporization, and it can be also applicable for bloodless surgery, suitable skin rejuvenation and resurfacing. So, and it is used mostly complete removal of the tissues. And you see here, again I am taking the temperature should be high, more than 100 degrees Celsius. So you need a pulse laser here because you need that kind of power. And if you are using very high power pulse laser, then there will be quick ablation. So ablation means you just vaporize all the materials which get irradiated by the laser. So it breaks the chemical bonds without even heating. Again, this high power pulse laser in last few years, people have started using it for different kind of surgeries. So, so this is the exposure time versus the different kind of interactions. And if you have seen, the exposure time increases, the interaction and irradiation's power also increases. So it depends on the pulse width actually. And the famous application so far is using femtosecond laser is the LASIK, laser assisted in situ keratomelasis, and cataract surgery, corneal implantation, and many other, dermatology, tattoo removal, etc. So this is, you might have seen in different hospitals, this kind of advertisement is there, LASIK advertisement is there, so they do that kind of interactions using laser, using femtosecond laser. Apart from this direct medical applications, there are research on how cells and lasers interacts. So as I said, the femtosecond laser actually interaction is so quick, so it's possible that without directly interacting with the tissue, you can irradiate the laser on the nanomaterials. There will be very short interaction, and they will produce some kind of mechanical or electrical phenomena which may generate pores on cells. In the previous lecture also, it was noted, it was told that there is an interaction. So this is the kind of interaction which happened. And here the cell death and the low delivery efficiency is very, very high. It's just the opposite thing, yeah. So it's called optomechanical and optoelectronic phenomena induced by laser with light metal interactions with nanomaterials. So there are different ways how you can interact with different kind of materials for getting maximum interactions. And yeah, and this is all how you can use laser for different purposes in biomedical research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, madam. Now we would like to invite questions from our listeners.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah, thank you.
So nowadays, for removal of kidney stone, lithotripsy is one of the process where laser is used. What kind of laser at what wavelength and energy is required for this purpose?
So usually 10 watt range of lasers are used. Depending on what kind of stone and all these things, actually the wavelengths are selected. So far as I know, CO2 lasers are mostly used for that purpose. But I don't know if the femtosecond laser are now involved for this kind of thing.
But fiber, optical fiber laser.
Optical fiber based, yes. All those are optical fiber based. So this is the free, because we don't have much time.
But so optical fiber based laser and carbon dioxide laser is quite different.
No. Optical fiber based, the emission is collected by the optical fiber and then sent to a particular position of the body.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question from our listeners?
So you mentioned different types of laser, right? Type 1, type 2. So this is just, if you can mention the power of all these type, because the first type they harmful and
yeah, I can't remember all of them, but yeah, so the type 4 laser is usually pulse energy is very high, around 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 15. Below that is type 3. So where the pulse energy is in the order of 10 to the power 6 to 10 to the power 7. Pulse peak energy I am talking about. Peak power.
Unit.
Peak power. Watt per centimeter square.
Because that is very important.
That is very important. Yeah, of course.
Right?
Of
because
course.
it's a directional and also highly coherent.
Yes, sure.
So, like normal light is much higher power.
Yes,
but because of the divergence, you don't have that much energy collection, right? So that's why I am telling the power is very important.
Very important, yeah. Depending on power actually and the damages happen. So
maybe in the presentation if you can mention
that.
Yeah,
of course.
That, so it would be better.
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Yes.
Actually, what are the cheapest source of laser?
So any gas laser. So actually all the cost depends on the mostly the gain medium. So if you just, because there are several components. If I just consider one component, the active media on which the lasing is performed. So that is maybe the gas laser. Gas laser, yeah.
Okay.
Or now PN diode laser is also there. Solid state laser, yeah.
Solid state laser actually I am thinking the
but
material.
Even the fabrication is also. Gallium arsenide.
Atom generated something laser.
That you are talking about the quantum door or something?
No.
Fission and fusion reactions where high intermediate energy is required. 10 to the power 15 second, minus 15 second,
femtosecond. Autosecond, yeah.
So in that case, high power laser is
required. Yes.
The most important laser is neodymium phosphate laser. So in that case, what is its category? What will be the category of that laser?
That laser will come, I don't know exactly, but if the power is very high, it should be class 4. Class 4 laser.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your valuable talk. So we would like to thank Dr. Shraboni Kaur with a memento and a certificate of appreciation. For this, I would like to call on Shri Dilip Kumar Bera to kindly hand over the certificate and the memento to Dr. Shraboni Kaur. Yes, that would be better. We would also like to hand over one certificate of appreciation to Sri Shamul Ranjan Maiti. So for this, I would request Sri Dilip Kumar Bera to do the same. So that was the end of our first half session of our first day of International Conference on Health, Safety and Environment, HSE-2023. Now I would request all our dignitaries and delegates to proceed for the lunch. But just now we have received one of our important delegate, Professor Dr. Debdulal Shaha, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR, Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur. So we would like to felicitate him with a flower bouquet and a memento.
Hello. One information I want to give for firefighting of the lagging fire or this cotton fire. That is, not water, actually steam lancing or carbon dioxide is the best extinguisher. Okay? Thank you.
Now we would like to welcome Dr. Debdulal Shaha, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR, Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, Jadavpur. And for this, I would like to request Sri Dilip Kumar Bera to kindly hand over the flower bouquet and a memento. So that was the end of today's first half session. Now I'd request all our invitees, delegates, dignitaries to kindly proceed for the lunch, and also to all the participants. After the lunch session, we will again join for the technical session. Thank you very much.